Hey folks, Dude here. Well, basically, coming back from the weekend of, alright, I went down to Rehoboth, Delaware for, there's no other way to explain it. I basically just gotta show you guys. There's no other way to describe it other than to show you. If you're somebody on the East Coast, or you're somebody that lives around Ocean City, or if you live around in Maryland, you know about this stuff, okay? Fisher's popcorn. This stuff is just short of crack. And once you get a taste of it, you just can't stop. Fisher's Pop, was it www.fishers-popcorn.com. Trust me, okay? If you go to Maryland, there's three things that are going to jump out at you immediately. Burgers, cookies, that's Baltimore. Burgers, cookies, Fisher's popcorn, and crabs that have been steamed and not boiled, covered in Old Bay. That's Maryland, okay? That's all there is to it. That's Maryland. But, the point of today's video is going to be, well, you guys obviously know the Keurig, and you obviously know the Tigger. Just give me 1 second here. Oh, Jabalicious. So anyway, just coming back from the trip, and, if you guys are subscribed to my Facebook, if you're subscribed to my Facebook, you know, obviously, DUDEJERKY, Facebook, not too terribly hard. It is what it is. I give updates there daily. I give several updates there daily. You know what? Usually I'm just writing comments, and, I'll go back and forth with people, and I'll go and chat and talk to them and stuff, and, actually, I think I forgot somebody in chat, but that's alright, I'll get back to them later on. Anyway, so the long and the short is basically, you guys have seen, prominently in most of my videos, you've seen the Tigger. Let me give you a little background information on this guy, and basically the way it was is, Mrs. Dude and I went down to Florida, and, they had these big honking coffee cups made in Thailand, 24-ounce mugs. Let me get readjusted here. 24-ounce mugs, and, they hold a serious amount of Joe. Now I'm really kind of not working great here, but I'll make it go. Anyway, so, basically they hold a serious amount of coffee. That was probably about 5-6 years ago or something. I don't remember the exact timeline, but it's been a while. You can see I developed a chip, and it's a fairly good one. Also following that, I've developed a crack, which is starting to load up with gunk, and I don't even like to microwave this cup anymore simply because the crack, and what happens is usually you heat, cool, heat, cool, heat, cool, bam, something goes. Because it's ceramic, there's not a lot of give. Now, the other thing, too, is it's basically a rather cool cup. I'm going to spend a couple minutes on this one. It's a rather cool cup. Let me get readjusted here. Basically, got Tigger there. It says, Caution Coffee Overload. Triple X L Triple Espresso. So I guess extra large. Of course, it's got the turbocharged tail. The hot wired brain. Rapid heartbeat, and of course it says on there extra large, triple espresso. I thought it was a pretty cool cup. I mean, of course, Mrs. Dude and I did get married with an Africa-themed wedding in Disney, and I just thought it was a cool cup. I mean, I'm not a huge Tigger fan. She absolutely adores Tigger, so obviously I had to get that. I've glommed onto this cup a lot more than she ever has. Now, the long and the short is basically, these large mugs are very unique. They only had them for a little while. Disney rotates their stock constantly. If you go to Disney or you go to the Disney stores... Oh, excuse me 1 second here. That stuff, which was big, in vogue, and was a huge thing, has pretty much come on by the wayside and been switched out for the newer stuff. And, of course, it now has been replaced by other cups. The cups are shrinking. Case in point, this one, which is hugely popular, is about, probably about a 16-ounce cup. Does have a pedestal, so they say do not nuke it, because, you never know if there's air bubbles in there, the thing will blow out, and that's never good times. But these Tigger cups are still in vogue. It's one's actually kind of cool, because it's got the, the tail stripes around the handle. She really likes this cup. Can't nuke it. Don't do that. But this one's all over eBay. Case in point, a newer cup that we got down there, or we got at one of the stores, I forget which one it was. The Tomater cup, notice, it's shrunk. I mean, you can see these two guys side by side, and obviously two of these things are not like the other, because they're getting progressively smaller as we go along in age. To the newer, they're shrinking. But anyway, the long and the short is this one is getting worn out. It's getting wear and tear. I'm probably just going to retire this one, and I really, really like this cup for one very good reason. You got a fill line. I know if I crank this thing up to this level, X amount of sugar, X amount of half and half, X amount of coffee, it's going to be consistent. And if you're going to drink coffee, you're going to be fairly consistent and know what you like. Do I switch things up? Oh yeah, I go to Starbucks and I get the XYZ, and Mrs. Dude gets the XYZ, and you know, we basically have our various tastes. I like soup. I mean, my coffee is really, really, really wicked strong. A lot of sugar, a lot of cream. I mean, it's basically my bowl of oatmeal in the morning because it's got so much crap in it. But it's getting tired. So how do you fix a cup that's rare, hard to find, and you need to replace it? Well, usually I just go on eBay and I start scrounging around and find stuff, and I went on eBay. Okay, so this one's actually going to be kind of like an unboxing, and I'll give you a little bit of a status update, and we'll go on from there. So, basically, we've got our box, and I got not a lot of room in my kitchen, so excuse the shaky camera work here, but basically, we got a box. Let's see here. Got a box, shipping label, from so-and-so to so-and-so, and I know what the contents are. You guys don't, but let's just have a little fun with it. I figured if one's getting tore up, one's getting tired, out with the old Tiggy, in with the new Tiggy. So you can see, obviously, this one is perfect, pristine, spiffy, shiny, perfect, and it is going to be the new hard driver for the one that's going to be retired. I'm probably just going to shelf this guy because it's got so many memories. I just don't like chucking stuff I like, and I really do like the Tiggy cup. Just give me 1 second here. So I'm going to say, essentially, this video is going to be a tale of two Tiggies. Alright, so going on from there, I'm just going to leave these guys in frame just so, you know, whatever. Okay, now if you were subscribed to my Facebook page, you would know on the weekend I went out and went down to Rehoboth to get the aforementioned Fisher's popcorn, and resulted in me basically getting into yet another accident, not even a month and change from the last one. The last one was on me. I mean, I rolled through a red light, did not see the red light. It's one of these Baltimore City traffic lights. The thing's cocked about 30 degrees off square, and it is very easy to miss that traffic light. Mrs. Dude has said herself that, you know, she's been a couple times where she's almost missed it and ran through the intersection. And the best thing I could say in my own defense was pretty much nobody got hurt, and the damage was minimal to both vehicles. Both vehicles were, you know, repairable. I didn't hurt anybody. The insurance company was like, okay, well, that's your one strike, buddy. You better not do it again. And if you do it again, we're going to light you up. It's Allstate. I'm sure they're not happy about it. But you know what? We've been paying them a lot of money for over the years, and this is the first major incident. And I've been driving for a long time before, you know, accident to accident. So yeah, it's on me. I mean, it's just me being a dumbass. But this time I'm pulled up to an intersection. And you got to understand the way that Rehoboth works. I mean, the place is hugely popular. I mean, it's right up there with Ocean City. And if you look it up, Ocean City is just that. I mean, if you're going to go out to Baltimore and you want to go to some place for vacation, you go what they refer to euphemistically in Baltimore as down the ocean. Down the ocean means you're going down to the Eastern Shore. You're going to be hanging out in, well, Rehoboth or Ocean City. Rehoboth basically being the kind of more... how do you really describe... Oh, okay, Rehoboth is more of the homosexual beach than Ocean City. There's a lot of homosexuals that have, you know, moved up to Rehoboth, and it's kind of become kind of a, you know, a crossover place. It's not like in your face. It's not, you know, really overt, but it's known for it. Okay, there's a lot of homosexuals that really like Rehoboth. I don't have a problem with it. You know, as long as dude's not trying to pick me up, and I say, dude, I'm married, we're good. Just leave me alone. But it's just, that's the zeitgeist of the place. That's the way it's set up. So anyway, in Rehoboth, it is a hugely wide boulevard, as you were. stores on either side. I mean, basically the thing then dead ends into the, goes into the beach and basically stops. But if you look at the roadway, it would be from looking straight down the top, it would be stores, line of parked cars, roadway, another line of parked cars, island in the middle, another line of parked cars, and then finally you go to the outside, line of parked cars, another row of stores. So basically it's like stores fringing the inner area, which is all the parking. Now I'm in the number one lane, which would be the left-hand lane, and I'm pulling up behind this truck. Basically, we're at a stoplight. We're right at the intersection. I'm the second car back from the intersection. And this guy's like, hey, man, can you back up? So I was like, okay, sure, yeah, I'll back up a little bit. And it's traffic. It was just tight, man. This is Saturday night. It's really busy. And I did not want to be there for any longer than I had to be. I hate being in crowds, and I hate crowded places. And I really, truly do not like the beach. I am not a beach person. So anyway, traffic's tying up. It's bottling up. And I got this guy who's saying back up. I was, all right, man, I'll back up. Well, in the process of him telling me to back up, and the guy that's trying to back out of the parking space, who is driving a full-size pickup truck, dude's driving an SUV that was in front of me, this guy's backing out in the lane number 1. On the other side of the roadway is another car backing out in the lane number 2. So you have two cars backing out simultaneously into a 2-lane roadway with parking on either side, where right at the intersection, the light turns green. I'm like, dude, this ain't happening, man. I'm not backing up anymore. It's just too tight. People are going to start, bottling up in each other's butts. On my butt is another SUV. And if you know the 2005, 2006, 2004, what was it? I'm sorry, let me get my head straight here. If you go from the 2004, actually even earlier than that, if you go from the first generation CR-V up until the time that they stopped having the external tire on the rear door, they were known for something that sucks. If you put a low impact into the back end of a CR-V and you hit that spare tire, your back door goes kaboom. I mean, it's kaboom. Blows out the back window, caves the door in, and does about $2,600 in damage even on a 10-mile-an-hour collision. Not good times. So I saw that possibly as a potential, and I was like, dude, I'm not backing up anymore. I don't care if there is 5 feet behind me, because that guy behind me might pull forward. And if you know the rules of the road, you are not required to back up into the run of traffic. If traffic's going forward and you back up into traffic, you're a dumbass. That's on you. And I know the rules of the road. I've been driving long enough. And this guy was he really wanted this space. So I was like, dude, I'm not backing up anymore, man. It's getting too dangerous here. I'm not doing that. Well, he took it upon himself to say, well, I got to get clearance for this pickup truck. He said he was afraid of the pickup truck hitting him. No, he was afraid of the guy basically taking off and him not getting the space. So basically, dude's backing into this full-size pickup truck. I see the backup lights come on this SUV, and I'm like, oh, snap. He ain't going to stop. And he backed up at a pretty brisk rate until I felt crunch. You know what? I'll probably post some pictures on my Facebook if you guys want to see. I'll put the link here for the pictures. I mean, yeah, it's moderate damage. And yes, the car was drivable, and his basically consisted of another scratch on his trailer hitch. He walked away without a problem. Then he tried to play the game about, well, dude, it's not that bad. Can you hang? I'm like, no, I can't hang, dude. You basically hit my effing truck. And I was not happy about it, and I was definitely cussing like a sailor, and or a Marine. And so dude's like, well, no, it's not that bad. It's an existing damage. It's like, dude, it's a new front end. I can document it. Just came out of the body shop. Oh, no, it's not that bad. You can hang, does this really need to happen? So basically what it was is he was trying to avoid everything possible from handing me his insurance information. I asked him 3 separate occasions, give me your paperwork. Finally, I was like, you know what? I ain't playing with you anymore. Mrs. Dude, call the cops. And so she 911, and basically eventually the cops showed up. Dude was getting ready to roll out. I was like, you know what, dude, if you roll out, that is leaving the scene of an accident, and I'll make sure you get arrested. So, basically, that's the long and the short of that one. The damage on my car is minimal, but you know what? It's a new front end. I had a new hood put on there, a new left fender put on there, new grill, new condenser, new front clip, new brackets, new clips, new this, new that. You look at Hondas, and there's a million little fiddly bits you gotta bolt on and bolt on and bolt on. And, so basically he bartered up a perfectly brand new nose. $200 plus. So anyway, the guy's like, well, how much could this possibly cost? Like, a new front nose, $250, $260, $260, $270, somewhere in there. And he's like, oh, well, it's not that bad. And then he tried to shuck and jive the cop, and the cop's like, well, what happened? He goes, well, you know, he didn't back up far enough, and, you know, I backed up, and I felt the bump, so he must have pulled up on me, and the cop's like, wait a second, hang on. You backed up. He goes, yeah. He goes, could you see the car behind you? And he goes, well, yeah, but I felt the bump. And he goes, hang on a second here. You were backing up, and you felt the bump, but, you know, okay, let me explain something to you. And the guy's like, no, he didn't back up far enough. Cop goes, look, he can have nothing behind him. He's not required to back up, because the law states it is on you to back up safely. It is not on him to back up to give you clearance for a parking space. What you do in that case is you go, I ain't getting that one. You go and find the next one. So anyway, the cop goes, all right, great. Let me just verify things. Because, I mean, this guy was trying to shuck and jive the cop, and the cop was like, all right, I'm not going to play with this crap. I'm going to verify and, you know, validate. I'm going to trust but I'm going to use Reagan's line, and I'm going to trust but verify. So he goes out there with his camera, snaps pictures of everybody, and then he goes over and snaps a picture of the trailer hitch with a tape measure, measuring from ground level to the trailer hitch. Then he goes around to the front of my truck, measures from the ground to the impact area, and goes, well, you know, Mrs. Dude heard this exchange. I pretty much just blew it off because I was under stress and just didn't remember. But she goes, well, the guy basically was saying, no, it couldn't possibly be. And the cop goes, look, I see hundreds of these things all the time, and in my professional opinion, that looks like new damage and it looks like a trailer hitch. And the guy's like, no, it couldn't possibly be. See he's like looking at the tape measure going, no, see, there's a difference in them. And the cop just looked at him, grinned, and said, you know what? That's called driver's weight. You guys were in the cars, and they switched up the driver's weight, switched up the length of the tape measure from the ground to the item that we're measuring because it would sink down with your butt in there. So, basically, the long and the short is I got an insurance claim started up. We don't know if dude's insurance is current or not, and it's going to suck if he's basically been shucking and jiving and doesn't have his insurance. But he did get a citation for unsafe backing. So, the documentation now is on him, the onus is on him, and he was basically not being careful in what he did. He basically endangered every single person around him because he had to have this space. I'm not going to go into a whole racial thing, but you know what? Let's just say they could have been nicer about it. And, of course, you know, they had his friends rah-rahing about, you know, I'm doing this, and, you know, Mrs. Dude is an XYZ, and he really didn't need to go there. And basically, it was just simply a case of just give me your damn paperwork and we'll be done with this. But no, he basically wanted to play the game, wanted to shuck and jive, and I think there's probably a reason why. Long and short, my car is not wrecked, and it's pretty much just, it was really a comedy of errors. It really, truly is. It's simply a case of somebody basically doing something stupid and then trying not to accept blame for it. You know, let's just put this in perspective. The guy was born in 88. He's a millennial. A lot of millennials really have issues with trying to accept blame for what they did and trying to accept responsibility for what they did. He kept saying to me, I didn't back up far enough. It's my fault. Well, you know what, dude? No matter whose fault it is, in your mind, the law states I wasn't needing to do so. So which puts it then back on your shoulders. Whether you think it's the case or not, the law is the law. And you know what? We're coming up on a little bit of time here, so I think I'm going to stop talking on this update. I do want to give you guys a heads up, and I do want to make sure that this happens sometime. I got to work out the ins, the outs, the whys, the wherefores, and how it's all going to run. But I do not want to have like a 3,000 subscriber contest where only 50 people enter. That would be stupid. The last time I did a contest, I had like a minimal amount of people enter, but I will have a 3,000 subscriber contest coming up. Just you wait. Alright, so here at the Gators Podcast channel, I'm going to tell you guys, you know, stuff that happens by and large. And you know what? This has been pretty much just a kind of an update video without a whole hell of a lot of stuff going on. I can tell you classically, though, it's been pretty damn quiet on YouTube. There has been a whole hell of a lot of problems going on. The friction's been minimal, which is cool. People basically playing the games for the, you know, the AdSense and the, you know, the other just stupid stuff has been really minimal. By and large, you know, I don't know if they're still making ingresses with new channels and trying to play games, but if you make a stupid ass comment, it is not going to go up, okay? Plain and simple, it's just not going to go up. If it's something that's like LOL, it's not going to happen. It's just, it doesn't add anything to the video, and it basically just looks stupid in the comments, so it ain't going to happen. Alright, folks, so here on today's podcast channel, I'm going to tell you, as usual, keep it a thundering, eat good, make sure you have your TIGGER, always. Good times. Excuse me 1 second. Oh. I know I'm not saying out with the old TIGGER, in with the new TIGGER. I'm simply saying I got another TIGGER. Good times. All right, so eat good, keep it a 10 ring, and as always, ours.